This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Woo! Hey! I think I know you people.
Oh, who are you?
Oh, hello.
Hey, wow.
We did it.
Last time
We made it to 2022.
We did it all.
Oh,
Hey, how about that?
If it wasn't for us this year, it wouldn't happen.
That's a really good point. I mean, that is a very, very good point, Steve. If it wasn't for us, where would these people be?
I watched that Netflix movie.
Oh, that's right. Did you look up?
I no, I refuse to. I want to.
Oh, you're not going to look up. All right. Okay. Boy, oh boy, if you really wanted to piss people off, Netflix, good job. You made a good movie. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, I heard that it's a little too close to home, so I decided not to watch that one.
You know, I fell asleep multiple times during the film.
Oh, you know it's a good one. If Steve fell asleep multiple times, A1 movie.
And I was trying to keep awake because I thought it was clever and a fun film. And every time I'd wake up, I'm like, oh, they're still doing this. Okay. And I fall back asleep, wake up again. I'm like, oh, they're still doing this. Okay. It was just like it kept going and going and going. Like they could have edited a lot to that.
You're
movie.
Absolutely right, Steve.
Yeah.
Every movie I watched, I would say that over the holidays, and I watched some big ones, including that one, same issue. It's like, if you cut 20 minutes out of this would have been a really, really awesome movie. If you cut maybe 20 minutes, half hour out.
It's like almost like I feel like there's somebody telling them you have to have at least 2 hours in your film, otherwise it's not a good movie. And it's like, no, give me a 90-minute film.
Oh, yeah, those are good ones. This one, I think, was this over 2 hours, this movie? Yeah.
I think it's still going. Like, I started it a couple of days ago. And
I think it's almost 2.5 hours, Don't Look Up, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
2 hours and 25 minutes.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
I mean, that's insane.
Shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I blame Peter Jackson. Wasn't he the first one that really came out with a long movie and everybody said, oh, we got to be like Peter?
Yeah.
Wasn't Titanic? I remember Titanic coming out on 2 VHS tapes.
Yes, and it would always cut off right as it was going to sink.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
What do you mean?
Really, yeah.
Huh?
It would cut off?
Because it was 2 VHS tapes. So, the first half of the movie would play, and then it would just, go black, and then you had to put in the next VHS
They
tape.
didn't give, a creative spot to, say, no?
No, it was like, oh, the ship's going down.
Maybe I should watch this movie then, huh?
Well,
I'll let you borrow the VHS.
No, it's fine.
Well, that way, if you want a happy ending, you can just end it on the first VHS. And it doesn't. Hey, they're having a party.
Yeah, don't look down.
Hey, there's a party on a ship, and this dude's about to have adultery with the chick. Great, let's go do it.
Don't look at icebergs.
In a car. Yeah, first VHS. Good.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, it's good to see you all. Most of you.
Seahawks haven't lost this year yet.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
We're going
it was
there.
awesome.
Are we going there, really? Are we pretending?
Yeah.
Wow, you guys aren't looking up. You're not looking over the side. You're not looking at anything.
I'm not looking at the playoff picture.
No, you're not. Yeah, you're not looking at any of that stuff. Okay.
I think Sam's text just sums up today perfectly. Sam in Renton said, man, I don't know if you guys are in today, but F this waking up crap again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I have to say, it went easier than I expected. I actually had a good night's sleep. You know how sometimes that's tough, Steve, where, you can't get to sleep after a long layoff.
Wow, congratulations.
Of course, taking cold medicine will do that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Oh, if you guys want to fall asleep, I'll loan you my 2-year-old who will just keep you up until when it's time for going to bed, you're like, yes.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
She's got a new thing, BJ.
Yeah?
It's right before bedtime. She likes to turn the lights off in her room and have all of us pretend that we're airplanes. And we have to walk around the room in a circle for like a good 30 minutes until she's ready to shut it down.
That's her thing?
It was adorable a couple of days ago. It's exhausting now.
Wow.
Nice. Do you have to make airplane noises?
Yes.
Nice.
I love
something.
Are you all your own airplane, or is she like a passenger on your back?
No, we are each our own airplane.
Okay.
And one of her stuffed animals is the passenger or Lulu. It depends.
Yeah.
So Lulu, after the first night, was like, I'm done. Get me out of this room. Like, she got nauseous and just said, screw this. This is stupid. So she left. So now it's what's his face? Bingo from Bluey.
Oh, yeah.
A flamingo doll, and then Peppa Pig.
Okay.
Those are our passengers.
Oh, those are the passengers. And so she's in her bed while you guys are providing this onboard.
No, BJ, we are all walking around the room in the dark in a circle like some weird cult.
So she's leading the cult.
Yes.
Wow.
What are the first class amenities on the old Migs Airlines?
That is a good question.
Being nauseous. That's pretty much.
Well, warm nuts, I think, might be part of Steve's.
There's the video cam footage.
That's amazing.
Wow, I am seeing this happening, and boy, I wish I could show this to you both. I wish I could show this to you both going, hey, here's your life. Are you sure you really want to do this whole get married parenting thing?
Yeah, it's something I never expected to be a part of our going to bed routine.
Pro tip, pick up the Legos before you turn off the lights.
Whoa.
The Legos are in the playroom.
Okay, good.
Yes. For a reason.
I have to say, you post a lot of things, you talk about a lot of things, and of course, I've been through this twice. This is new. I have never heard of this particular situation when it comes to a child. So you know what? There's always something new from childhood that you can spring on people.
It was really cute at first. It was still cute, but you didn't think it would become then a tradition. Again, that's our fault for entertaining her and finding it humorous the first time.
Yeah.
Because now she's just like, this is a lot of fun.
Now you can't change it.
And then we have the little, it's a little weird nightlight thing that makes a sound in her room, but it projects stars on the ceiling.
Is it an owl?
Yes.
I have one too.
It goes like the entire time. That's the sound of.
Okay, that doesn't sound
dial
like
up. I don't know. That's
fun.
Did you dip it in water or something?
It's a little less abrasive than that. It's like.
Oh, it's like white noise. I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. I'm not sure what's going on over there. If I don't know if that would have got me to sleep. Whatever you guys are doing.
Well, BJ, every night at 8 p.m. we're flying planes. That's what we're doing.
Wow. So instead of a bedtime story, you guys are doing really like some bizarre yoga. Okay.
The bedtime story happens before we fly the plane.
Oh, you have to do this.
Of course, you got to do the bedtime story.
Yeah, but that's all you're supposed to do. You shouldn't have to do plain stuff after.
Yeah, we got to figure this out because bedtime was around 7-ish. Now bedtime is like pushing 9 o'clock.
See, that's a bit. Wait,
this kid's a genius.
See, and Lily does the same thing, but instead of doing planes, she asks for snacks. So it's just
I'd like that.
Yeah, she will eat like a full on turkey dinner if you can give it to her before bedtime, so she doesn't have to go to bed.
Anything to avoid going to bed.
Yep.
Oh, they only knew.
Good luck.
Yeah, right.
Boy, the kid's getting creative, though. I mean, it's one thing to, be able to, first of all, you're getting food, you're getting your parents to act like idiots. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the congratulatory message.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on. We would like to be able to say that sports in Seattle is fantastic. Yeah, sure. I mean, the Hawks won, but they're out. And the Seattle Kraken, okay, well, they might not be winning games, but their fans are saving lives. Oh, yeah. Steve will tell you all about this. He's got the Mix Report for you at 6:19 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. Are we close to building machines that are almost human? And can new technology give us superpowers? Find out on Super Sapiens. And in 1919, a British composer wrote the longest and most complex symphony in history. Conductors tried to perform it, but failed, declaring it cursed. Now a group of musicians will attempt the impossible, if they dare, on Curse of a Gothic Symphony. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9. Well, hello. Hey there.
Clear it out.
Wow. Clear it out. Thought I did.
I hate when that happens.
Wow. You know what? I'm a true professional.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Anyway, it is 99.9 KISW.
Well informed on the issues of the day? Not this guy. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Miggs Report.
Well, thanks, guys, and thanks to Palace Law for giving us the Miggs Report. And today, we don't want to do this. It's National Weigh-In Day.
Boo!
Wow. Because of all the resolutions, today's the day to start everything fresh. Nope, brother.
That's it. Okay.
Brother. All right, how about this? It's National Women Rock Day. So, Vicky, you rock. Yeah. Sarah, you rock.
Ah.
And it's also National Humiliation Day, which I thought I should have looked ahead of time because it would have been funny after telling Vicky she rocks if I pulled out like a pie and just smushed it in her face. Wow. I don't know.
I mean, that you're only celebrating the day. I think that was perfect.
Yeah. As long as I don't have to weigh in today, I don't care.
That's true. We can humiliate ourselves by doing that as well after the holidays.
Yeah.
We'll have fun with all of that. Everybody. Weigh yourself. Tell ladies that they rock.
Okay.
And then embarrass yourself. I don't know. Many things to do. Right. You know which woman does rock, though? Today's Women Rock Day. It's a lady by the name of, what's her name? Nadia Popovici.
Nadia Popovici.
She's a Kraken fan.
Okay.
And like many Kraken fans, very disappointed with how the season has gone so far. Only have 10 wins in 33 games, but forget.
Well, at least we're playing, right? I mean, that's
we are. We're in last place in the Pacific Division, and everything's not going all that great. But Nadia went to the very first game, the home opener, because her family's got season tickets. So she went back in October against the Vancouver Canucks. And the story is pretty crazy because she went to the game and her seats, pretty sweet seats, right behind the opposing team's bench. So you could heckle the players, bang on the glass, and have some fun. Nice. And I think that's what happened when she was trying to interact with the assistant equipment manager, who's a guy by the name of Brian Red Hamilton. So she was banging on the glass trying to get his attention. And he's probably thinking, what the hell's this crazy Kraken fan trying to bother me? But she kept trying to get his attention because apparently she's going to medical school, and she was looking at his neck during the game and saw that there was a mole that she believed was cancerous.
Oh, wow.
So she's just like, I need to let him know this. So she eventually wrote it on her phone and blew it up big and got his attention and put her phone up against the glass. And he looked at it and just shrugged it off. So she's like, oh, maybe he already knew and I embarrassed him. But she was just like, what the hell's going on? He was like, well, who the hell is this fan? And I guess, though, he mentioned it to one of the trainers and to his wife. And they're like, you should get that checked out. Like, that's kind of an odd thing that a random fan is telling you that you have a cancerous mole.
Wow.
So he goes and gets it checked out. And, he eventually, they were able to obviously remove it. And he's going to be fine. But had it not been for her, because he's like, I didn't even know there was a mole back there. I never get to see the back of my neck, which a lot of us don't. And he probably doesn't get like a checkup on his skin all the time, which they recommend. But I know a lot of us are not doing that and probably should after hearing a story like this. But so that happens. but he has no idea who Nadia is. He just knows a random Kraken fan basically saved his life. So he put up a big team statement on their Twitter, like a big press release saying, hey, if anyone knows this person, and of course it spread like wildfire on Twitter. Eventually the mom noticed it on like a Kraken ladies Facebook group page or something along those lines. Said, that's my daughter. She's going to med school. She's going to be so excited to hear that you actually listen to her and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, that's what happened. And eventually, though, the Kraken were playing the Canucks again, and they were able to meet up this past weekend for the first time. And we have audio of Red, Brian Hamilton, and Nadia meeting up for the first time.
When you showed me your phone, I also said today I felt terrible because I was kind of like, okay.
I thought you already knew about it.
No, I didn't.
And I was like, oh, no, he didn't want me to bring it up.
So I was like, then the next day I woke up and I said to Jess, like, it was your effort and your persistence and the way you wrote it on your phone. I told Jess, like, I owe it to this person to get checked. Like, if she went this far, I need to get this checked.
And he did, and look what happened.
So that's the thing. He might be one of those dudes that doesn't go to the doctor a lot, which is why nobody would know about it. Because if you go and get your physical, they would probably take a look at that. They would see that.
And it's not like he's surrounded by team doctors. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't have anybody that can help him out with that. You're right.
But how about during the Kraken game, which unfortunately they lost to the Canucks? And I was getting annoyed. I saw people like, we got to win this one for Red. I'm like, screw you. We got to win this one for Nadia. She saved his life.
Yeah, that's right.
We need to win this game.
Yeah,
But how about the teams? They collected, they put together some money and they gave her $10,000 towards medical school training.
What?
Yeah. The Kraken and the Canucks.
All because she noticed this guy had a mole on his neck.
Yeah, they rides her at the game, and that was pretty cool.
What?
Then, of course, you go on social media, which is always a big mistake because everybody's got a thing to say about how much they donated. Like, oh, that's only going to cover books or something like that. Like, shut up. Like, what money are you donating to her?
Hey, at least it's something. I mean, they gave her something.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have to give her anything. I wouldn't have even expected them to do that. That's really cool.
Also, she has a sweet Kraken hat.
Dude, well, she's also now the mascot for the team.
Oh, God, she's Cuddles. I got you.
Yeah. You're right, dude. That hat's pretty sweet. I was
so
like, man,
awesome.
I kind of want that myself.
It looks like a homemade like knit cap with tentacles, and it's the color of the Kraken. It's got two like eyes on it as well. It is pretty awesome.
I really want that to be the official top part of the mascot.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the mascot announce. I know things got kind of weird with everything, with the snowstorms and COVID shutting things down and all that. But where's our mascot? Damn it!
And the NFT's not working.
Oh, that too. Oh wow, yeah. Well, hey, good luck to the Kraken. Hopefully they can turn things around.
Please win.
New year and start winning some games.
Well, I mean, as long as they play. As you know, really, that's what half the NHL seems to be like, yeah, we're going to wait a couple days.
No, Ted Smith there in the break and I were going to go to the game against the Arizona Coyotes, and we had every plan on going, and then they canceled that game, so we ended up just going to a bar and watch the Seahawks game wearing our Kraken jerseys, because we're like, damn it.
Good job, buddy.
And there were some people coming in like, I was going to go to that game tonight. I'm like, yeah, us too.
You and Ted Smith are not destined to see a Kraken game together, because that's the second one that you missed out on.
Well, he got to go to the first one, but I wasn't able to because Tatum was sick, and then it turned out I had COVID at the time. So
you think this is an elaborate way for Ted to go, look, I don't want to go to a game with you? And it's just he's just orchestrating all of these horrific situations.
He is the reason why they shut down that game against Arizona.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Totally.
We were supposed to go see them against the Islanders. No, I'm kidding. That game got postponed as well. So
so there's a third one.
Okay,
I was
kidding about that one.
You sure? All right.
But what a cool story about that girl just randomly. You hear that sometimes when someone's like watching a TV news report and they're like, dude, you should get that checked out. And because of that person watching closely and seeing something different or odd on another person's body, they're saving people's lives, man.
That happened to me. The massage therapist pointed out I had a thing on my neck. It wasn't cancerous, but at least she pointed it out. Mm-hmm. And I went and got it checked out, and he goes, no, unfortunately, you're going to live. I'm like, oh, wow. Thanks, Doc.
So we go from the Kraken. The fans are winners, but, maybe the team's not winning some games right now, to the Seahawks, who are undefeated in 2022.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
the spirit.
Let's forget it was against a 2-win team in the Detroit Lions, but the Seahawks looked pretty awesome yesterday, winning 51-29. Danny was at the game.
I was.
That's
was he?
Man, you needed to go to all the games.
I should have been there the whole season. It was all my fault. I apologize.
I mean, they had a 24-point lead at halftime. I'll be honest, after the Lions scored and they got that onside kick, there was part of me was like, the season's done. I kind of want to see what would happen if things get really close. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, of course the Seahawks are going to turn a game that looks like a blowout into a close game, but that didn't happen. Thankfully.
Yeah.
Russell,
Danny was there. What was the ticket? What, $10?
It was free. I got a free ticket. So
you got paid $10.
They gave me $10 to go to the game. It was amazing.
Dude, I had so many people on Facebook being like, just message me if you want free tickets.
Yeah, honestly. Well, my friend has season tickets, so he invited me. But it was crazy to see Lumen Field not packed to capacity.
Yeah,
and it was actually kind of funny because they play the promos that are like the loudest fan. So I kept leaning over to tell my friend, maybe not today.
Though on TV they sounded pretty dang loud.
Yeah, it was nice.
Probably because we haven't heard really the fans get too into the games because they really weren't winning much at home up until that one, and that one was a pretty decisive win. Russell Wilson, 4 touchdown passes. He was 20 for 29. 3 of those touchdown passes to DK Metcalf. What crazy stuff is going on where he's passing the DK and things are happening and they're winning? I don't know.
I don't know. But, the guy on TV kept talking about body language, and it's funny how they're able to whatever story they want to tell, they show sad DK and then they show happy DK.
Yep. That's very true. And I like that they at one point busted into wrestling impersonations that keep Talib and Gus.
Yeah, that was kind of hilarious.
I know some people trash those guys like on social media, not being a fan. I enjoyed those guys doing commentary.
I did too. So, it's the one good thing about having your team not be so good is you're getting a different set of announcers who I guess aren't the A team, B team, whatever.
This is the practice squad.
But I'm with you, Steve. I really dug those guys.
They were having fun.
Exactly. I'm okay with that. I don't know why everything needs to be so serious, but hey.
Totally.
DJ Reed had a couple of interceptions. Jason Myers, he kicked the ball between the uprights every time.
Wait.
What the hell's going on here?
That was Jason. I wasn't sure. I thought we got a new guy for a minute.
Was it? I don't know.
I couldn't tell. I mean, he was wearing the same Jason jersey, but I thought for sure they just got somebody else.
Hey, but the big talk obviously has to be Rashad Penny, who in the last few games is just really making a statement and a case for him being the starting running back next season and for them to keep him. I mean, that's a guy that was injury prone. He even believed that the Seahawks weren't going to keep him around up next season because I think he has a contract deal and all that kind of stuff. But last few games, he's just been a force out there, especially yesterday, of course, against the Lions. But still, 170 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. And here's Rashad Penny talking about his performance and the team's performance yesterday.
I don't think them guys out there get as much credit. The O-line just, I wouldn't want to be with anybody else. This team, this offense. So, it means a lot, having them guys and then, my job is easy. It's a big hole there. All you got to do is hit it.
That's life advice.
Yeah,
it's a big hole right there.
Wow. Okay, then.
I mean, at least he had fun and didn't take off all of his clothes and leave the team.
Wait, that's not
he didn't
fun?
do that?
Did you not hear about the story that happened yesterday?
How could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not hear about it? If you're watching any kind of football, it was the highlight of every football game.
I legit thought that was like photoshopped. I thought somehow they just found a picture of Antonio Brown shirtless and they put it on and they pretend because I saw the pictures before I saw the video. So I'm just like, this isn't real. Or is this a fan dressed up like as a football player that decided to streak the field? No, Antonio Brown during the game against the Jets apparently had an argument with the coach Bruce Arians, and Bruce was like, hey, you got to get back in the game. He's like, no, I'm not getting in the game. He's like, well, then get the hell out of here. And he took it literally and took off all of his clothes, basically threw it into the crowd and in a nutshell said, I quit this bitch.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy to see him take off all of his clothes. There's a lot of fan footage of him struggling to take it off, and then he throws it out there and he waves to and also it's a road game, so he's not even doing it to the home fans, but he's saying goodbye to the Jets fans, who of course are just like, what the hell is going on here?
The Jets fans are like, this is the best thing that's happened all season.
It's just, dude, it was just nuts. In fact, here's the play-by-play announcers just trying to make sense of what was going on as Antonio Brown is just having a tantrum and taking off it reminded me of the movie Slapshot. If you ever saw it, at the end of the movie, one of the players takes off all of his gear on the ice, and it's kind of like an epic moment during the movie. But this happened in real life, and here's the announcers talking about it.
Antonio Brown, that's Antonio Brown without his uniform, we are told, without his jersey, and running out of the field. I don't know if that could have been a penalty.
All right, Jen Hale, get after that. We got to find out what's going on there.
She's got to catch him first. It's unbelievable. He's had his issues off the field. Now he's on the field creating an issue.
Guys, very odd situation. Antonio Brown boiled over, very upset on the sideline, took off his shoulder pads. Mike Evans, O.J. Howard trying to convince him to keep them on. Obviously, they were unable to do so. He tossed his shoulder pads, stripped off his shirt and glove, threw those into the crowd, then ran across the field while the teams were still on the field, giving the crowd a peace out sign.
A peace out, and then
deuces.
And then after the game, it sounds like Antonio is something's going on in his world. You know, I mean, up in between his ears, because it just seems like, man, he's having a tough time with whatever it is. In fact, even Tom Brady was like, after the game, was like, hey, man, let's just be a little empathetic towards the guy.
I think everyone should be very compassionate and empathetic toward some very difficult things that are happening.
And Bruce Arians, the coach, he also followed suit with Tom Brady and had touching things to say about Antonio Brown.
He is no longer a Buck. All right, that's the end of the story. Let's talk about the guys that went out there and won the game.
Yeah, Bruce wasn't very pleased.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, yeah, this guy's not on my team anymore.
You can tell different generations right there. Bruce obviously hasn't gotten on the mental health awareness train. Bruce is just like, I know that back in my day, you kept your shirt on. It's all I know.
He's just like, yeah, this guy's not on our team anymore. Let's talk about the players that are on the team.
That's fantastic.
Hey, before we wrap things up with the Migs Report, I just want to show some love. It was a tough New Year's Eve for some people in my life and some friends and family, and lost a couple friends in two different worlds of my, like one in the hockey world and one in the wrestling world. A buddy of mine, Robbie Kaufman, 40 years old, just turned 40, sadly passed away. His whole family are great people. They listen, and they're a big part of the Tacoma hockey community, and he's a coach, a great dad, a husband, and I just want to show some love to the Kaufman family, because Robbie was a great person, and a lot of us are just still kind of at a loss for words, man.
Way too young, man.
Yeah, it was just like one of those things where it just, when you found out, you're like, no, that can't be true. And a lot of people are mourning and struggling. I know a lot of people who listen are friends with him, and I just want to show some love for Robbie and his family. And then Corey McKinley, who was a wrestler in town, one of the first people I ever met when I started doing it. He went by the name of Sonny O'Mara, passed away as well on New Year's Eve, I believe it was. And just awful. Young guy, great dad, husband as well. It's just a crazy story about him. When I first met him, he just showed me his phone and said, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. And I'm like, what's going on? Apparently he suffered a stroke many, many years ago and couldn't talk anymore. And but still wrestled. It was such an incredible story. And like, he would communicate with his phone and just type things out, not during the match, obviously, but beforehand. Yeah. And he was just a great dude. And I was another situation where you're just like, man, it just makes, it's like one of those situations where, like, I was at home and I'm just like hanging out with my kid, and I'm like, that's just the only way I could celebrate these guys' lives is to be the best dad possible. I know it sounds cheesy, but like, it's just like you held your kid a little tighter because you know that that's what they were known for. Everybody just talks about how great and how loving of dads they were, and it's just heartbreaking to hear that at such a young age that both of those guys are gone. So I just want to show some love for those guys.
Yeah, lots of condolences to the families, obviously, Steve, and wow, that is some tough news.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting that. And it was both on New Year's Eve, too, which I thought was just like, what a awful way to finish your year for all these friends and family that are dealing with it. As the weather, 42 degrees. Thank you, Snoqualmie Casino, for giving us the Migs Report, and that's what's up.
On Friday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
Who wrote the 1976 novel Interview with the Vampire?
Is that Bram Stoker?
No.
Stanley Kubrick?
No.
Stephen King?
No. Bram Stoker.
Good old Bram Stoker.
Stoker, guys.
Thank you.
What's wrong with you dudes?
Yeah. Well, we were actually looking for Anne Rice, but I still think Mr. Stoker, that's the guy.
Bram Stoker.
You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs. We'll do that at 647 on The Rock.
Today's podcast is brought to you by bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, who's ready to answer your questions about bankruptcy. Travis, is it true that if you filed for bankruptcy once, you can't file again?
Even if you filed bankruptcy before, you can almost certainly file bankruptcy again. Different types of bankruptcies have different time limits between filings. In Chapter 7, full bankruptcy, you can only file Chapter 7 once every 8 years. However, you can almost always file a Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 cases can be filed immediately following a Chapter 7. They can be filed immediately following a prior Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 is a reorganization plan, so there will be some type of monthly payment, but it's based on your budget and your ability to afford that payment. So Chapter 13 is an option in almost all cases, even with a prior bankruptcy filing.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream, the Arctic, frigid, desolate, unforgiving. And without canine companions, early humans never stood a chance. Discover how man and dog learn to thrive together where neither could survive alone in Ice Dogs. Plus,
why would a Nazi major be protecting and saving Jews?
Against orders, against time, the SS Major that sheltered and saved thousands of Jews. It's the Good Nazi. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.